It's not just this game. It's been happening all season long. This is what happens, right? This is what happens. You've got competitive women who are the best in the world at what they do, right? And when you allow them to play physical and you allow these things to happen, they're going to compete.
Now let's watch this in slow motion. Here, JC Sheldon is guarding Caitlin, swipes her in the face. There's one. Going for the ball, swipes her in the eyeball. They took these referees, they were at the monitor, they looked at it for, I'm not even exaggerating, you guys, like 15 minutes. 15 minutes they are watching this play over and over. They are seeing who pushed who.
And then what did you make of Sophie Cunningham's flagrant foul on JC towards the end?
It was a flagrant foul.
Do you think it's like defending Caitlin or defending the team, or how do you view just how it all?
I view it as a flagrant foul.
Caitlin Clark just stormed off the court, fighting tears after suffering another groin injury. But this wasn't just bad luck. Her brother says it's the referee's fault. What really happened during the Fever Sun game, and why is everyone now demanding change from the WNBA? Keep watching to find out. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Imagine this. Caitlin Clark, one of the brightest stars in women's basketball, is limping toward the bench, barely holding it together. The Fever Sun game had started like any other, with fans roaring her name. But by the end, her injury had become the center of the story, and not just because of her groin. This was about something deeper that left everyone rattled.
There wasn't an explanation for the tech that she got. You know, I think it was pretty obvious that stuff was brewing, right? When the officials don't get control of the ball game. When they allow that stuff to happen, and it's been happening all season long.
The referees are going to review the play because that's a lot of contact going on right there. That's a lot of unnecessary contact. That's a lot of non-basketball contact happening during this play.
Can you specifically detail what you mean by get control of the game, just to be in your words?
Get control of the game is call the fouls that are actually happening on the floor. Right, and consistently call the fouls that are actually happening on the floor.
This is what they called. Caitlin Clark, Marina Mabry, Tina Charles were assessed with technical fouls on Tuesday. Caitlin, Marina, and Tina Charles. Technical fouls. That's it. Technical fouls. That's it.
From the opening tip-off, Clark looked unstoppable. She was carving up the defense, drilling threes, threading impossible passes. It was the kind of performance people buy tickets just to witness. Her energy was magnetic. Every step, every shot felt like a highlight reel moment. But as the game progressed, something shifted. The match grew more physical, and the referees seemed to, well, swallow their whistles. Players were hitting the floor left and right, including Clark, who at one point clutched her hip after battling through a hard screen. Then came the boiling point. Clark turned toward referee Michael Price in visible frustration after a seemingly blatant foul went ignored. Her face was red with anger as she shouted, "That has nothing to do with it. Are you kidding me?" This wasn't just frustration from one call. It mirrored a long series of plays where contact wasn't being addressed. The crowd grew restless. They saw it too. Clark wasn't getting the protection you'd expect from someone who carries the weight of the league's future on her back. What happened next underscores why fans and her family are so outraged. Near the end of the third quarter, while contesting a drive, Clark twisted awkwardly while fighting through contact. Again, no whistle. She hit the ground hard, wincing in pain. It wasn't the first time this season she'd been in this kind of situation. She's been battling a left quad issue for weeks, had prior groin problems, and even missed 10 games earlier in the year. The pattern is impossible to ignore. What made this explode was a post-game reaction from her brother, Colin Clark. In a now-deleted post, he snapped,
I started talking to the officials in the first quarter, and we knew this was going to happen. You could tell it was going to happen. So they got to get control of it. They got to be better. They got to be better.
What do you think, again, in the second half, allowed you all to create some distance there, and what can you build on going into that cup final?
I thought we were physical on defense. I think that's where we lacked in the first half. I think the first half we had moments where we're up 10, we're up 8, we're up 12.
We have now seen at this point in time, we've seen multiple eye pokes. right? We've had that happen not only with JC Sheldon, but also with Dejanay Carrington last season, and Dejanay Carrington has done it multiple times this season to other players. A non-basketball play getting shoved to the ground, and it's just a technical foul. Nobody gets ejected. Now from that, obviously tensions were so high.
Make no mistake, this is on the reefing. That statement alone ignited over 100,000 reactions online, with fans flooding comment sections demanding change. So is this just bad officiating or something bigger about how the league values its stars? Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's the face of women's basketball right now. Her impact extends way beyond the court. She's the reason tickets are selling out, why TV ratings are climbing, and why a new wave of fans is tuning into the WNBA. And yet, it's hard to ignore the glaring issue. The league doesn't seem to be doing enough to protect her. It raises a tough question. Why isn't more being done when so much is at stake? Commissioner Kathy Engelberg defended the league's physicality recently, saying, "It's a physical game all over the league." But to many, that feels more like an excuse than an answer. Take Rebecca Lobo and Angel Reese, for example, who've openly criticized officiating for its inconsistency, especially in games like the Fever Sun Showdown. It's not just Clark feeling the heat. Players across the board are taking more hits, while the officials allow games to spiral into chaos. In contrast, leagues like the NBA and NFL have implemented rule changes to protect marquee players. Whether it's quarterbacks in the NFL or dominant playmakers in the NBA like Stephen Curry, their safety is deliberately prioritized. For the WNBA, the lack of similar measures is becoming increasingly noticeable. This failure to adapt stands out even more when you consider Clark's impact. During her time at Iowa, she shattered records, revolutionized viewership numbers, and turned college basketball upside down. Now in the WNBA, she's elevated the league in ways no one else has. Attendance and merch sales are trending up, and her social media presence alone draws eyes to the game. Losing Clark, even temporarily, isn't just about one player. It's about the league's future. Fans have already seen cracks beginning to form. Multiple injuries, like her recent left quad issue and recurring groin problems, threaten her ability to perform long-term. And let's not forget cases like Sophie Cunningham taking an elbow to the head with no call, another example of ineffective officiating leaving players in dangerous situations. If injuries like these keep piling up, the league risks more than just Caitlin's career. They risk losing momentum they've worked decades to build. Fans are loud, analysts are critical, and even neutral voices are starting to chime in. The WNBA needs to decide, will they do what it takes to protect stars like Clark, or let this be a story of what could have been? Caitlin Clark's groin injury isn't just painful, it's a flashing red warning light for the WNBA. This league is built on players like her, athletes who drive ticket sales, boost TV ratings, and make fans care. But right now, the WNBA is letting her and others get worn down with physical play and inconsistent officiating. Analysts have even called it disastrous from a business perspective, because Clark is the league's golden goose. If her injuries keep piling up, what then? Fans are frustrated, analysts are speaking out, and the league's reputation is at risk. The WNBA has critical choices to make. What happens next?